Hi, my name is Daniel, and I'm the founder and CEO of ClipCall. This is our weekly show, interviews with pros, and today this is Sam Wilson from 1-800-UNLOCK. You are the owner of 1-800-UNLOCK.
That's correct.
Right?
I'm the president and owner of 1-800-UNLOCKS. It's a online nationwide directory of full-service locksmiths, and it's something we're very proud of. Took a lot of effort to go through locksmith listings across the country and really review and collate as many legitimate companies as we could humanly possibly find across the country, and eliminate the scammy listings, if you will.
What do you mean by scammy and spammy? Out there.
Over the past, I would say, 10, maybe more years, there's kind of been this issue online with companies popping up, essentially lead generation companies. Most notably, you can find them on AdWords. If you do a simple Google search for locksmith services in your area, you'll see most positions are paid services by the scammers. And unfortunately, they view customers, the average person, as a target that they can easily take money from. And so there's a bait and switch of factors where they say they're going to come out for a certain price, and then when they arrive and perform the service, it's a totally different price. And so that's the advertising tactic that 1-800-UNLOCKS is completely against. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, but are those real locksmith companies, or are those are kind of third-party companies that transfer the leads or resell the leads to other companies?
That's exactly right, Daniel. Yes. So the lead ends up going, more often than not, from what we can gather, from what we understand through investigation, is that these leads are going to a call center, and the call center sends it out to whoever may be in the area that they have. And chances are, they're not showing up in a marked truck. They don't necessarily have the training, the skills, the business license, the locksmith license where applicable in certain states. And so, they're not paying taxes. And then they're ending up overcharging customers far more than what, an ethical locksmith like you would find at 1-800-UNLOCKS would charge you.
Just general question about your industry. Like every locksmith I know from other countries should be approved by the police and have the license. So those guys don't have it?
Not necessarily. In some cases, I think there are some companies that have managed to get a license more often than not because they simply don't have a criminal background history. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to provide the level of service that you would find at 1-800-UNLOCKS. So I think it's about 15 or 17 states actually require licensing across the country. So the majority of states, it doesn't take a lot of effort to call yourself a locksmith. But, locksmiths.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, locksmithing industry is something where, guys will tell you they've been in the business 25 years and they're still learning. It's constantly evolving with new products and new technology, and it takes quite a long time to master. My father, speaking from experience, I grew up in the locksmith industry. My father owns a company called American Lock and Key in Richmond, Virginia. We're a full-service locksmith company, and over the 4 years, I've helped his company grow, and we're actually adding additional services. We weren't in automotive as much. We weren't in access control as much, and we're getting into those different verticals. We're going where the customers are with the efforts that I've taken online, and we're using the internet to our advantage.
Interesting. So, if I'm a user, let's say, I'm a customer, and I'm locked outside of my house, and I just search my mobile for locksmith, a person might come in, which is not certified by a police or not approved or anything, and would break into my house. So it might be someone else's house, not only mine. I can call you to break into someone else's house.
So with 1-800-UNLOCKS, the locksmiths that I hand verify, the locksmiths that join the network. And, I care about the industry. Like I said, my dad, he started a company. That's how we put food on the table. And so it means a lot to me personally. The locksmiths that, we're trying to prevent customers from seeing are the ones where they just go to Google and they do a simple search. Chances, it's possible that those locksmiths are felons. They may have criminal background because it's not necessarily the person that comes out to your house that had to get the background check to get the license. That's somebody else. So they hire and subcontract random people in their network, and they're the ones coming to do the work. So in Virginia, I can speak about Virginia locksmiths. They do have the locksmith themselves, the technician has a registration, and the company has a license. So the actual technician, that registration is theirs. It's theirs to keep. And that means that they have passed a background check individually. And so you can really rest assured that if they're working for a company, the business owner doesn't want the liability. So they're going to be somebody that's, an ethical person, morals, and of course, if there's ever any issues, chances are the business owner will take immediate action to, remedy any situation.
So what's your ways to tackle this kind of scammy, I would say, environment that you have in your industry? Like, what's your vision? What are you trying to do?
So, my vision ultimately is to grow the brand 1-800-UNLOCKS and to get locksmiths across the country, legitimate guys that live and work in the community that they service, where the money goes back into the local economy. You're supporting a local business by using 1-800-UNLOCKS. And again, we're full service locksmiths. These guys do access control. They do safe work. They do automotive, residential, and commercial work. They work on doors. So we're really for the full service locksmith. And what I want to do is, kind of get people to adjust how they are trying to find their local professional and remember the name 1-800-UNLOCKS. I'm trying to take something that's kind of old, which is the toll-free number, and make it new again. We use, the latest location services. So when you call toll-free, it's going to locate the best possible locksmith in your area to help you with your service. And then above and beyond that, what we're doing is we're working with ClipCall to help locksmiths take their business to the next level and be where the customers are, right in their phone, right on the mobile app, to help the locksmiths see your issue. So if you have a lock that needs to be rekeyed, or a key that needs to be copied, or a door that's sagging or not closing properly, what better way than a video to take that video, send it right to the local locksmith, and have them see your issue firsthand. And, ClipCall, I believe, is just a hugely powerful business tool for the locksmiths, that, you have an instant communication portal with that locksmith, and they can message back and forth, and you can even handle the payment right through the app. So it's totally secure. And ClipCall is, an app that I certainly believe in, and I want the locksmiths in the network to download it so customers can essentially know that when they use the app, they're going to get a 1-800-UNLOCKS verified locksmith. And you can easily download the app by simply going to 1-800-UNLOCKS.com, and right on the homepage, I'll show you right here, you can download the app by tapping this. So for an accurate quote, download the app, you can shoot a video, and it'll go right to the local locksmith.
That's awesome. I couldn't say it better. Really can't. Cool. Just wanted to ask you a couple more questions, like about the background. You mentioned that your father started your business.
So he started American Lock and Key, which is his local locksmith company. We've got a shop located at 2110 Spencer Road here in Richmond, right at the corner of Libby and Broad. And we actually just finished renovating it. We added a second floor ourselves. It's a beautiful building. And we expanded our showroom. So, excuse me, we can carry safes and a lot more products that we just weren't able to carry. We didn't have the room for in the past.
Uh-huh. That's nice. When did you start a business? What year was that?
So he started the business. American Lock and Key was started back in 1980, and since then he's grown. He's I believe we have 6 trucks on the road, and we're open from 8 to 5, but we have emergency service 24/7. And so, almost any day of the week, any time of the year, for any locksmith issue, we can help. And then on the other side of things, 1-800-UNLOCKS was started back in 1995. I've been involved for the past 4 years or so, and I've completely revamped the business. We've updated the website, completely updated the phone system to use location services, and we're actually expanding to add some other services, media and marketing and advertising services for the locksmiths.
Nice, interesting, cool. And how do you accept calls 24/7? Is there anyone like getting those calls? Is it a different person every day, or how does it work?
So after hours, what our locksmith shop does is we actually certain technicians, they alternate. So every other week, there's somebody else that's doing the service work after hours. But we actually use a after hours dispatching service through a company called Service Marketing Group, and it's called Advanced Dispatch. And we have dispatchers that answer the calls for us, and we actually developed this ourselves with a few other locksmith partners, including myself and my father. One is Mark Baldino, one is Gary Ford, both locksmiths in Northern Virginia. There's Baldino's Lock and Key and Eastern Safe and Lock. And we had the idea, we said, we love taking in calls at night, but we want to ensure that these calls are being answered and serviced appropriately. And we want to have, track that information. So we went out of our way to develop this program. And so we have dispatchers that when the calls come in, say it's for American Lock and Key, we have a service ticket window that pops up that shows American Lock and Key. It shows who's on call. It shows all of our services, and the dispatcher can enter in all of the information and dispatch it right to the technician. And then they call, they follow up with the technician and make sure he got the information. And then we can, of course, listen to the calls and ensure that everything is good and professional. And we've seen an increase in overtime calls and overtime business since implementing that.
And those guys who you call dispatchers, are they kind of professional people? They know to ask the right questions, provide prices, or?
Right. So since we are in the locksmith industry, they were trained to answer locksmith service calls.
Okay.
As you would in any other shop across the country. So they know all about, how to take unlock calls if you're locked out of your house or car or business, and they know how to take calls if you just need to rekey your locks. Typically a customer might say, I need to change my locks. But you don't need to buy new hardware. You really just need a rekey, which is making that same key way using a different key. So that old key will no longer work your locks, but we interchange the internal mechanism, the internal pin tumblers, so that a different key will work your lock. And that's usually a lot less expensive than changing out your hardware entirely. You just don't need to do that unless there's something broken with your lock.
Well, and what do you think is the biggest threat on your industry or on your ability to grow, like going forward?
So one of the big things that I think the locksmith industry needs to do is, use ourselves. You own the business. I think that you need to promote your business, and we need to kind of step into the light. I think that 1-800-UNLOCKS is going to be able to centralize content, centralize videos, centralize accurate information about locksmiths across the country. And when we do that, I think that it's going to, customers are going to reward us by visiting the site, hopefully getting professional service. And ideally the search engines will see that, customers had a great user experience. They got what they came, they found the information they needed, contacted the service provider that they wanted to talk to, and they got professional service at a fair price. So if we can do that, I don't see anything stopping us from growing.
I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm trying to end my question towards maybe some technology-driven shifts. Like, what would happen if there is no need for keys anymore? Like,
Okay.
if I use my fingerprint, or if it's a smart lock that feels or senses me going away from my home, and like after 10, I don't know, like quarter mile, it locks the doors itself. Because it knows in a central way that I'm awake.
Sure.
Is there something like that? Is it something that you think about, or I'm just imagining things?
It's something that over the past several years I had been concerned about, when are physical keys going to be obsolete? When are physical locks?
Screen the eyes, right?
Yeah. And, that technology is out there. You have government contractors, high-end commercial properties that they want to control access as much as possible. They want to track personnel. They want to lock down. They want it tied into the fire alarm. And that's access control. Above and beyond the physical key, there's access control, which I think encompasses, that level of security. So whatever that security is, whatever the next iteration, the next generation, you're still going to want to, you have a door, you have a barrier, and inside is your physical, it's your personal property. You're going to want to secure that somehow, some way. And I think that, there's always going to be a need for a security professional, a locksmith, if you will. Maybe the name changes. Maybe they're not called locksmiths anymore. But I think that industry is not necessarily going anywhere. People are going to keep their cars for 20 years because they don't, 10 years because they don't want to upgrade because it's expensive. Those older keys, they still have a manual key. Those older cars, they still have a manual key. And, if there's a EMP blast that wipes out electronics, you're still going to want to have your key. So I think the transition may be kind of slow away from the physical key, and it is something that we are concerned about. That's why, for my example, my father's company did transition into access control.
Right, like people are talking about autonomous cars. So think about it, like, I don't know, technology is there. Like here in the Bay Area, we see a lot of those self-driving cars, like driving across the street. It's kind of crazy. And Tesla and all that thing. And like, I don't know what it means about owning a car in the future. Like we would have an app and would call for a car, like Uber. It would come here, take me and drop me and go and charge again. I don't know. Maybe go to other missions. So I would think that as a locksmith, there probably will be change going forward in the technology that would impact. And I liked what you said about being a security professional, building that barrier around my home, around my property. So maybe going forward, it's not a physical key, maybe it's something else. It's a smart key, it's a smart lock that people will still need to troubleshoot. And this is where you as a service pro need to evolve with the technology and with how the trends are moving.
Yeah, I mean, there may be, implantable chips in your arm that are just as secure as a fingerprint that, and instead of having a key machine, they have a device that goes around your wrist and you hold your breath for 5 seconds and it you don't know where the technology will go, but and maybe there will be some sort of a Tesla Uber crossover where it's just, they make the cars make them money by, repeat customers, like you said. At the end of the day, somebody still owns that vehicle, and you have to still or make some way to secure it at night, I imagine, whether it's a proxy.
Those guys are smart enough. What they're doing right now, they are investing in building those autonomous cars, and the big money there is in utilizing the fleet 24/7. Like the cars wouldn't stop. They would know how many of those they need, so they never stop, maybe for recharging or something like that. Think about it, smart algorithm where there is no need for parking anymore.
Right.
Anyway.
It's crazy. I mean, the whole world is, no doubt about it. The world will change. Technology will propel us, into what we like to, I guess, some sci-fi related fiction. I mean, first, and then it becomes reality. So,
If I'm a customer, let's switch topic maybe from future to the current times. If I'm a customer and I'm locked out, or I'm considering of buying a lock. Let's talk about that. It's more interesting, I think. I'm considering to build a house, or I'm renovating my house. I'm considering to change the doors. What's the right thing to look for? What should I pay attention for? Like, what's important? I don't know if people think about it.
There's a lot of different things that the average customer can do to improve their security, and pretty cost effective too. Actually, not too long ago, there was some stories nationwide. ABC picked it up and so forth, something called lock bumping, where the average lock, maybe Schlag or Kwikset that you would find at the big box stores, and most customers have these locks. They're not considered high security locks. You can even buy these keys online. Now, from what I understand, some senators, lawmakers are trying to prevent these keys from being sold online. But the big box store locks, unfortunately, are not high security, and so you can take these keys called bump keys, and with the right technique, you can actually manipulate the lock into opening without any damage to the lock, and you can even lock it back up. So, something that I would say is important for the average consumer is consider a high security lock on your exterior doors at least. It's a little bit more expensive, but you get a peace of mind that you just can't almost put a price on. If it's something that's pick resistant and bump resistant, the keys and the locks themselves are additionally they're stronger, they're more durable.
But I wonder how important is that to secure a door where I would say most of the seats or whatever would come through a window, let's say.
So that's the next step. You have windows that you can open. You have sliding doors that you can open. If you want to take it a next step, if they don't care about leaving things the way they left them in terms of not damaging anything, you can kick a door open. So, when a house is built, when the door frame itself is built, and the jams are built, you want to make sure that there's a couple extra 2x4s, where the door and where on either side really, where you have the strike and where you have the hinges. And when that strike plate is installed in that doorway, you want to make sure that you have 3-inch screws going in to both 2x4s. You don't want a 1-inch screw, because a firm kick, in the right place, you're going to get that door open real fast. So you want to make it as hard as possible. And, we have window contacts and door contacts and motion sensors and security systems that, locksmiths, security professionals can install to really protect your property. So, there's a few things you can do. But it's a worthwhile investment. You have a $250,000 house. Spend $2,000 to secure it.
Can you open every lock? Like if I'm locked out, is there anything you can't open?
There's a few locks on the market that are going to provide the most security, I think, that you can really buy from a locksmith. There's a couple of brands that they actually highlighted on the ABC News story about lock bumping. One is called Medico, and one is called Multilock. Multilock's actually an Israeli company, and the keys look entirely different. There's key control usually. The dealers, the locksmiths that sell them, you can't buy them at box stores. And the keys, when you come in to get an extra key, you have to sign. You actually have to show your ID and sign that you're authorized to purchase these keys. So yeah, those locks are either, next to impossible. They're just certainly not fun, and you're not going to get in 2 seconds like you could with a non-high security lock. Mm-hmm. You have to know what you're doing, or it's going to need to be drilled open.
How how true is this thing, you see in the movie that someone takes a pin and opens every lock? Like, do you think it's reality or it's just...
I think a lot of it may be, fictitious, but some of it is based in reality. There are some doors, if the door is not closed all the way and the latch is not latching properly, you can open doors with a credit card. You really can.
Yeah.
Or actually, I think what works better is not a credit card so much as the like a gift card or like a supermarket card. Those are a little bit thinner. I think those work a little bit better.
Okay, cool. Interesting. So what's the next step for you?
What's that?
What's the next step for you, for your business?
So the next step is really gonna, take 1-800-UNLOCKS to the next step. And 1-800-UNLOCKS is for the locksmith that is not happy with 1 or 2 jobs a day. It's for the locksmith that cares about marketing, that cares about advertising, that wants more customers, that wants more jobs. They want to expand the services that they offer. And they want to be known as a professional, verified company by locksmiths. We know the industry, and so we're going to use that to our advantage. We're not some outside firm that is trying to verify a service professional. I mean, we focus on nothing else but locksmiths and security on a nationwide level, and so we're going to keep it simple, keep it practical, and stick to what we know.
Awesome. Makes sense.
So,
What do you do besides being a locksmith? Yeah, thank you so much. What do you do besides that? Besides being a locksmith, like what do you like to do in your life?
Oh, well, now I'm a family man. I've got a Jacob, and so he's everything. He and my wife Jessica. When I'm not working, I'm with them. I'm with family. Getting into golf a little bit, do some tennis, swimming. Get out, enjoy life, because it's shorter than we think, and
it is. Oh man, it is.
Orlando.
Cool. Awesome. Good. Anything else?
Thank you very much. One last thing I'll say is visit us at 1-800-UNLOCKS.com. Like us and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at 1-800-UNLOCKS.
It's down there.
The icons and the links are down here.
Yeah, are down here. Exactly here. Okay, cool. Cool, Sam. It was a pleasure talking to you, like always. And let's talk again in a couple of days or maybe a couple of weeks and see how it moves forward, how we work together, how things are picking up. I think that we're sharing the same challenging space, which is a local space. And sales professionals, maybe we'll have another session talking about how you manage your business day-to-day life, like what type of tools you have, what type of challenges you have. Maybe we'll have another reason to talk again and have another podcast or video.
So I could maybe mention one thing quickly that maybe you can splice in. And one of the things that American Lock and Key is doing to promote usage of the app and get customers to really engage over video is we're putting a display in our showroom. We're going to tell customers, download the app and give them a little booklet, a little brochure about it. And that way every customer that walks in our shop can check it out and probably even offer some sort of a discount for using the app, because it's going to help us, it's going to save us time. We don't have to go on site. So getting that app out there and showing it to customers when they walk in, it's going to be a huge part of expanding our business.
What other tool, like we're getting closer to the end, but what's like the other software that you're using right now in the business which you can't live without? Like you would recommend every pro or every locksmith to use in terms of internal tools for managing?
Every locksmith company is different. You have, small mobile shops that are 1 or 2 guys, and you have the large shops. And so I think that aside from accounting, which, we use QuickBooks, we can't live without that. Aside from that, there's not really any tools or, online services that I don't think we could really operate without. from a marketing and advertising perspective, there are certainly some channels that businesses that we use in from the locksmith, the getting stuff done side of things that we use on a daily basis. But for marketing and advertising, ClipCall is something that we're integrating, and other than that, in QuickBooks, we really don't use too many other tools.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. Before we finish, any funny or weird story or something you have with customers? Because I can think of one I had with a locksmith.
Oh, really?
Well,
why don't you start? Tell me about it.
I started. Oh, yeah. So I had my brother. He went to a beach in Israel with his wife. And when there was a huge parking lot, and when they got back, they couldn't open their car. It was a Mazda kind of thing. And they couldn't open. The key wasn't opening, or I don't remember. Maybe they lost the key. I don't remember. I think the key didn't work. So they called a locksmith, which came in, broke into the car, opened the car, and when they got in, they realized it wasn't their car. Their car was parked 3 cars nearby. Looked the same, exactly the same. So they called a locksmith, came in, who broke to someone else's car, and it wasn't there. It's how crazy.
You gotta leave a sticker on the car, say sorry, call us, we'll pay you back.
Did you have something similar like that?
Well, actually, just speaking of similar cars, I was sitting in the parking lot one day, and in one of my old cars, I was walking to the car, and I saw mine. I saw the license plate. I knew it was my car. I hit unlock, and caddy corner, like 3 feet away, this other car unlocks right next to mine. So I get in my car, I check it a couple of times, it's unlocking and locking right outside of my car. So the remote was programmed to the same frequency, which is a security issue, but I'm sure that there are some people out there that know how to bypass all that and, clone and use it to, break into other people's cars. But as I drove away, I made sure to hit lock just to make sure their car was secure after I left the parking lot. That was crazy.
It is.
One other thing that is just kind of funny, it always sticks with me, is just that my dad, years ago, was on Rescue 911, which was an older American show where
I remember it, yeah.
with Shatner was the host, and there was a 911 call for a gentleman at a local gas station. I think the video is on YouTube. The guy at the gas station tried to get some change, and it's the kind of safe where it drops a coin, so it rotates around and drops the change. Well, it was jammed, and he stuck his fingers in there, and as it rotated, it clamped his fingers in there. And so the fire department was there, and they were gonna, with the 12-inch saw, and they were gonna chop right through that safe. And my dad got the call, and he put that safe there. He knew everything about it. He's like, if you guys are going to use the saw, you're going to be here a while. Let me take over, see what I can do. So he did what he does. He got the back panel off the safe and, disengaged the rotating mechanism, and fortunately got the guy's fingers out without chopping anything up, without cutting any fingers off. And so that was great. That was a good memento.
Oh man, I'm so enjoying talking to you. I really don't want to finish. I have another question.
Okay.
What is your number one channel that you use for marketing at this point?
At this point,
in one word, only one.
Facebook.
Facebook. So you find people on Facebook?
For advertising, 1-800-UNLOCKS, and what I expect locksmiths to will find the best attracting customers is Facebook. I don't think that I think that the other channels, and Twitter some, but I think the other channels, aside from making videos and promoting yourself on YouTube and then posting that in certain places, I think I think Facebook is going to be a great channel. Other than that, locally, American Lock and Key, we use some directories. Now, those...
Oh, is that you? You are the guy that's using directories. Okay.
Yeah, American Lock and Key is, that's where calls are still coming from. But to be honest, there's a way to get away from it. I want to find that way.
Really? Oh, man. We need to do, I think, an episode only on that.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the fact that, they're not all verified and you're not sure if the information is correct, that's how I'm separating myself from that. But those directories, they're expensive. And, I think we can get the customer to locate directly either at ClipCall, locate directly at 1-800-UNLOCKS. ClipCall is great because you have all the other verticals. You have all the different moving and lawn care, painting. I mean, that's why ClipCall is great. Like I said, we focus on locksmiths, but I think locksmiths end up overpaying for that service. And I don't think they're getting enough calls. I think the per dollar call cost is just still way too high.
Awesome. Sam, thank you so much for your time. And I enjoyed talking to you, and we should talk again. I guess we have lots of things to discuss.
We have a lot of things to discuss, and we will. We'll touch base again sometime soon.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.